So I'm going to be talking about something that I came across on YouTube the other day, which was originally turned over to me by a channel called Some Ordinary Gamers, who usually covers quite dark things on the internet. And this one really caught my eye. And I was not going to cover it because I didn't want to give it any extra attention. I mean, not that it hasn't got as much attention as it needed, considering this channel has almost 4 million subscribers, so ours is only going to be like a little dot on that. But I didn't want to give it any extra attention because the person in this video is so vile and disgusting and creepy that I didn't think it was worth talking about if the police had taken care of it. And I thought they had taken care of it, but the guy's back on YouTube. So the guy that I'm talking about, his name is Josiah Mizukami. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josiah Mizukami. This is, without question, one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. And I'm going to play the clips from Some Ordinary Gamers channel of just him talking. I won't be playing Some Ordinary Gamers commentary because I'm going to run you guys through it myself. But just brace yourself because this is some weird shit. Before I play them, actually, I should tell you guys that this guy actually thinks he's a messiah. This guy actually thinks that pedophilia is something that God promotes. And he thinks he's here to save us. And when you get somebody thinking that they're a messiah or a God, or they've received some sort of message from God, and a message that vile, and they truly believe what they're thinking, you've got a very dangerous person on your hands. Because this isn't a joke. This guy really believes that he is a messiah from God, and he's here to teach us the right ways.
The truth about pedophilia is that it is really subject to all of the details of what it is exactly in full context. Like incest in our previous episode, pedophilia in itself is completely righteous. It is harm-free.
Yeah, he needs to get sectioned.
He needs to get more than sectioned. Do you guys hear that right? He said that pedophilia is righteous and harm-free. This guy is demented on a level that I haven't seen for a long time.
Do you know what though? I don't know what possible answer or reason he can give behind that statement that he is making.
Because he believes God has told him this.
Yeah, but I want to know why he thinks it's righteous and harm-free.
This episode is entitled The Truth About Zoophilia. Now, what is zoophilia, if that's a new word for you? Zoophilia is talking about an attraction between human beings and animals.
He's justifying zoophilia now.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never come across anyone in my life who's attracted to animals.
I've never come across them, but we know people partake in bestiality.
Yeah, yeah. I heard when I was younger about this girl who actually had sex with a dog.
What, in your school?
No. Like, it was a story going around, and there was actually like pictures and stuff. Yeah, it was fucked.
Was it someone in the UK?
I don't know. This was like, I'm talking like 2012.
There was a story about a woman that had sex with a horse, right? And the video was on the internet.
Because they've got, you know.
Yeah, okay. Loads of people saw it.
Right.
I unfortunately saw it.
About that.
Yeah, okay. I saw it and she died.
But how? I don't even understand how that would be possible.
What do you mean?
I just don't understand how it's possible to even do that.
To fit the horse in her.
It's not even about fitting it in, just position. How are you even getting to that part of the horse?
Well,
and the horse not attacking you and all of that shit. It's just a lot.
Well, they did what they had to do to get the horse aroused. We don't really need to go into the details of it. And then she positioned up the same way dogs have sex. And she died as a result.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either. I'm surprised she weren't split in half while it was happening.
Well, did she just like go in like
I don't know what happened to her.
doggy position?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with people.
Shouldn't be laughing, but it's just so fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know what gets in people's heads to do these stupid things and then film it and put it on the internet.
But I feel like people will do anything for clout these days as well.
This was in the infancy of the internet, so I don't even know if it was clout chasing. There was no Instagram back then. There was barely MSN. You know, BlackBerry phones weren't even about. This was way back when.
Is the video still on the internet?
Yeah, we're not searching it.
We are.
No, we're not searching it. This is my work laptop.
Now, this is something that we all share in a wonderful and natural way of natural attraction to our family, to the rest of us, you could say, the entire living organism. Like if you enjoy watching shows that are on different channels like Discovery Channel or Shark Week, or if you enjoy My Little Pony or Ninja Turtles, and it has actually been recorded and been talked about and been illustrated throughout humankind's history. It's been going on for a very long period of time, and it is something that in itself is beautiful. And these types of relationships can be just like a relationship between a man and a woman, something loving and completely natural, something, of course, that should be harm-free. The same core law, the same universal law, you could say, applies to all things. And what you could call zoophilia or bestiality is the same.
Yeah, this guy's not all right in the head.
He's sick in the head. He is truly sick in the
Proper.
head. Do you know, the only reason that I think this guy wasn't taken off YouTube initially was because he had such a small following that I don't think YouTube picked up on it. But apparently this guy is a model in like some other countries, quite well known in another country. They should have picked up on it.
So has his following grown since all of this stuff?
He's got several channels on YouTube. So he's not just in one place. His name keeps popping up. I searched him. I did some research on him and he's all over the place, but he has a very small following in each place. But outside of the internet, I think he has a decent following somewhere else in the world. People know who he is. He's appeared on commercials. He's modeled certain things. So he's known in other parts of the world, just not over in the West.
But I think as well, the fact that he's done loads of different channels and stuff, that says something in itself. Like, why do you feel the need to,
He's all over the place. It is, the way he's talking, the way he's looking at the camera saying that it's harm-free to have sex with an animal. It's normal. It's righteous to sleep with children. This guy is demented, like truly demented. He's sick in the head.
Some things that you could witness on this planet are not harm-free. And that is one thing that you all have a responsibility to stand up and address with me. Every one of you watching this, if you aren't already here helping me share this good word and this truth and provide the restoration of God's natural systems, you could say the way the universe was intended to work, you should return, you could say, to the family's best interest. Stand up, say no to harmful acts.
You know what it is? When I look at people like this, I look and think to myself, are they just doing it, again, for clout, for attention, because it's going to get attention? Or are their brains actually genuinely thinking this way? Because it is just too weird.
Look at that guy. Do you think he's just doing it for clout, or do you think he really believes what he's saying?
I don't know.
This guy looks like he truly believes what he's saying, which is even worse. When someone's just doing something for clout, you can break them down and you can pull their points apart because they don't really have anything behind it. There's no foundation because they're just doing it to get clicks. And if you scrutinize them enough, you'll quickly find that out. This guy is not like that. He's not just doing it for clout. Although clout might play a little part in it because ultimately he's going to want to get a following. He truly believes that he is spreading the message of the Lord. He truly believes this is God's message. And that is more dangerous than somebody looking for clout.
I'm not trying to digress here, but did you watch the Netflix documentary Don't Fuck With Cats?
I heard about it, but
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
So this was a guy who was killing cats, posting it online, torturing them and stuff. And then what he'd done from this was he stayed anonymous. Everyone started this whole big worldwide thing to track him down, find out who he was and find him. And he basically was obsessed with this idea of being famous in this way because he was the most talked about guy. Everyone was trying to find him. It was like an attention thing. So he was doing something so crazy and bizarre for the fame, even though the fame was in a bad way, but he loved it, like the attention and stuff.
So he killed the cats to get the fame.
Yeah.
And where is he now?
I think he either went prison or he died. You should watch it. It was quite an interesting...
See, I don't watch these serial killer documentaries on Netflix or any of these things for that very reason. I don't think these people should be named most of the time. If they've been captured by the police, then we should forget about them. I think that the right people should study them. I know a lot of people watch Netflix documentaries to try and understand the serial killers, but trust me, like, Netflix is dramatizing a lot of things. You ain't understanding shit about why these people do the things that they do. People go to school and to universities to understand those sort of things. Netflix ain't going to teach you. You might hear things that might give you an explanation and stuff, but how these psychopaths' brains work is way beyond any of our pay grades, in my opinion anyway. So I just don't see the point in being... I'm not telling anybody what they can and can't watch. It's just not for me. I'm not interested in watching a dramatization or a film of a man that has gone around killing people relentlessly for years until he's finally caught. Because all I saw from the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, because I already knew about Jeffrey Dahmer. Like most people knew who Jeffrey Dahmer was.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one though.
They made a film on it, and I was just like, back in the day, like I'd watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all these things because I was like, oh, you know, it's just a horror film, but it's not really. You have turned the massacre of a group of people into a film franchise or a Netflix franchise. They're planning a follow-up to the Jeffrey Dahmer film or some other serial killer film, like a season 2 thing is going to come out for them. I'm just like, I don't see the point if they're dead and they've been put behind bars.
It's just a way of all these people making money though, isn't it?
Yeah, they're making money off tragedy. For me, it's like if they're behind bars and they're in prison, fine. If you're making a documentary on them though, when they're already dead, it's like, what are you doing? These people are garbage. Study their brains so we can understand why they do it, but we don't need to give them a platform or embolden other people. The difference with this guy is that I thought the police had taken care of this. It's not that I think that my video is necessarily going to get the police to go look for them, but I do think if somebody is running wild out there and you know about it, you should probably say something. This person said animals can't consent, right? And animals can't consent. They just can't. Like, I don't know what planet you're living on if you think animals can consent. He responded, yes, they can. They have freedom of choice as well. Please stop trying to reduce the rights of other beings. Correct yourself for your own best interest and the best interest of all people. I have given you all the righteous answers, and those that have fallen to harmful behavior and practices should accept the original and constantly optimal systems and policies that I and the righteous gods have shared with all of you from Skyview Design. Do not wait a moment to restore heaven on earth for all with us. For all of the answers, perfect systems and policies, enjoy the purpose here. And then he links to another YouTube channel. Do you see what I mean? This guy is insane. He's talking about the purpose that other gods have given him. Not one god, multiple gods. And so when people like this are running free, yeah, there does need to be a conversation about it because they're out there.
Yes, it's dangerous. He needs some medication.
Yeah. He needs more than medication. But if they captured this guy, because I thought he was, I ignored this. When I originally saw this, I ignored it. So I was like, the guy on Some Ordinary Gamers brought it to light. It looked like the police had gotten involved and he was out. But as you're going to see, as we continue, he's still about.
Okay, so the line is the point that I'm getting to, which is so beautiful, is that in that law itself, or the wording of that, consent, right? You can look up the definition of what is consent. Consent is the freedom of choice of the individual. And so the purpose of a democracy is for people to all vote for what is
right. But do you think like if a 5-year-old says yes, like if a 5-year-old says yes to something like this, like if an adult says, hey, do you want to try kissing or do you want to try touching, and the 5-year-old says yes, do you think that should be legal?
Yes, absolutely. If the 5-year-old says yes, then they are actually giving their democratic vote, and that is their right. So as long as it's harm-free, it is perfect. So it's good to know the difference, and that is one reason why I am sharing this video with all of you, to help restore your natural godship, your natural power, to understand the difference.
Did you see his face light up when the guy said to him, when he mentioned the 5-year-old?
Yeah.
This man is evil and he is sick.
Honestly, I will never understand people that just say all of this stuff about young kids in terms of, like that dumb video of the lady saying kids need to give consent to change their nappy. Hear me out.
I think I think that's a far cry from this.
Why? No. But no, it's just the concept of people thinking that kids can make decisions or give consent.
Yeah.
Why do kids go to school? They go to school to learn because they don't know anything, and they're learning right from wrong, and they're just learning how to read, how to write, how to count at these young ages. Do you know what I'm saying? They can barely even write at 5 years old, or they're just learning. And you think a kid's got to know that what they're getting, like he said, basically what I'm saying is he's saying it's harm-free because the kid's given consent. It's not harm-free because the kid doesn't even know what you're about to do. Do you know what I'm saying? And that is harmful.
Yeah.
And they can't give consent. We don't even let people under the age of 16 give consent, or 18. Once you're 18, you're classed as an adult in the UK, or I don't know what other countries are like. And that's when you can start making decisions for yourself. Anything under that, no, because you're not an adult. You don't understand things in life properly, and it's very dangerous. And you're really here saying a 5-year-old can give consent, and that means it's harm-free and you can do whatever you want. That's like
He's evil.
outrageous.
Yeah, he's lost the plot. Like the fact that he would even say that and say it's their democratic right, it's their democratic vote. Children don't know. They're very impressionable. How can you say something so vile and disgusting?
I'm telling you now, I am afraid to raise kids in this current world that we live in.
Yeah,
it's only getting worse.
I can't understand how he has gotten to this point. Like, he really does need some sort of divine intervention to save him. This line of thinking is as dangerous as you can get. To think that a 5-year-old can consent, I don't need to know anything else about you. And I'm one of those people that doesn't like to throw someone under the bus for one mistake they've made, but this is a mistake too far. I don't need to know anything about you if you think as a grown man that a 5-year-old can consent to sexual intercourse. Even saying that makes me cringe.
I don't think it's anything to do with mistake, though. I think it's just outright mentally ill.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to The Purpose. I'm Josiah Mizukami, your true Messiah of Earth, a God in human form, and
Someone is referring to them as God in human form. It's time to take as many steps back as possible.
Yeah.
That person is a danger to themselves, and they're a danger to you. They're a danger to everyone that you know. I don't know how this has been able to stay on YouTube. The only plausible explanation I can give is that he has such a low viewer base that it just didn't flag up on YouTube, because there are things you can type into this search bar, keywords that I know that I won't repeat on camera. Okay, in case there's any kids watching, there's things that you can type in, code words, that YouTube have missed the moderation on. And when I mean these are dark videos, like haunting videos, they'll keep you up at night. They're on YouTube. They're everywhere. Some of them have a lot of views and YouTube misses them completely. So if they're missing those videos, I can imagine how many other videos with less views are slipping through the cracks. The only problem with that is I have to type code words into the search bar to get those videos. I don't have to type a code word in to get his videos. How is this guy being allowed to operate? And some of his videos had a couple hundred views, which means a couple hundred people saw them. And nobody reported it. Don't you think that's mad though? This guy's on Indonesian TV. So it's not like he's a nobody out there. Like, he's appearing on TV next to models and stuff. It's so bizarre that he's got a life in TV in another country and then appearing on YouTube preaching this madness.
But also as well, the fact that he's putting this all out here and he's only getting a couple of hundred views. So it's not like he thinks or knows his content's reaching, because essentially it's not, if he's only getting a couple hundred here or there.
But it's a snowball effect, right? One day you've got 5 viewers, then you've got 10. We've seen growth on this channel as well, right? We started off smaller. We're now almost at 1,000 subscribers. We've only been doing it for about three months or so. Just imagine him with his radical ideas. He's gonna attract radical people. And let's say that each of his videos only get 500 views each. That's about 500 people that have seen his video. On YouTube, that sounds like a small number, but when you're pushing something as dangerous as that is a very large number. If you've managed to radicalize 500 people watching the video, your job's already done, because they're gonna go and speak to somebody, and they're gonna go and speak to somebody. And the most powerful form of advertisement is word of mouth. That shit's gonna spread like a wildfire. That's how you see a lot of these things today that we see that we don't agree with. They started off as very fringe ideas. They started off as things that people don't commonly accept, and slowly they creep their way into the mainstream. And over a year, over 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you're suddenly sitting there going, how did we get here?
Yeah.
How are all these crazy things happening now? How did we get it? This is how it starts. And that's why I think, because this guy is not behind bars, that it's good to speak about it, because people need to know. I know that the other side of that is that we are giving a platform to somebody that doesn't have as much of a reach as us. And we don't even have a big reach, but our reach is bigger than his.
No, but it's spreading awareness so that people can know.
But we might inadvertently spread this to somebody that agrees with him. That's the knock-on effect of doing it, unfortunately. But I think it's worth doing, because more people need to see this.
Yeah.
More people need to bring it to light. Because if this guy ever comes to the UK or the US, the people over here should know about it, and it should get back to the police, and he should be detained.
This is the original point I always go back to. Andrew Tate got banned from all social media platforms, but mentally ill people like this are able to just post freely and go.
Yeah, and
make it make sense.
The thing that gets me the most is that this guy's channel has 3 million subscribers, 3.3 million, and he posted it, and his channel was able to get Josiah's channel taken down. But as you're about to see, Josiah is not gone.
Whoever this person is, they're pretty big news in a different side of the world, or at least I thought. Because I tried Googling their name too, and I literally couldn't find anything related to their modeling. It just seems like this person exists on the internet, and it seems like a lot of their posts are literally existed to make some level of like, it's just like SEO optimized material.
Don't you think that's weird?
This is weird. It's very, very strange.
It's very creepy. Like he's well known in another part of the world. He has YouTube channels, but we can't find shit on him. I tried to look him up as well. I can't find jack shit on him.
Unless he's got a different name.
Yeah, he could have a different name. I'm not sure if they brought up his name on the screen when he was in those talk shows, but it is just a bit weird because it's very easy to find information out on people these days. Very, very easy to find information out. And I just don't know how that's why I found it very creepy, because his message is very insidious, his demeanor is very creepy, and he's talking about things that you see in these movies, you know, when you get the super holy person that thinks they know best. Except this is scarier than those movies, because his message is zoophilia and pedophilia. So it is a bit odd, but I wanted people to see this because this is one of those things where if you explain it to someone, they're going to think you're talking shit.
Yeah.
And he's got such a small following that people just can't find him.
Sorry, pedophilia is not feeling love for children. You cannot be more wrong. It's a sexual desire. Yes, that's the definition. So, of course, Josiah responds with, Aloha, I understand that there's a mix of definitions from different people on what pedophilia is, and I can assure you that loving children in all ways that are natural, including accepting love from children in all ways that are natural, including harm-free pedophilia, there's no such thing as harm-free. It's harmful, actually. There are many examples of harm-free, and I know many people in many forms of life that enjoy healthy relationships with children and older people.
What am I here? Harm-free pedophilia. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Those two words don't go together. No. If you are being sexual with a child, you are harming them because children cannot consent. I don't know how many times we have to say that, and it's jarring that we've had to say that like a few times on this channel. Children cannot consent. They just can't. Everyone needs to get that through their thick skulls. I know most people know that, but I'm guaranteed there's going to be one crazy watching this video going, they can't. They just can't, fam.
You also don't need to study on how you feel personally, and I have accepted many loving relationships. Wait. You also don't need to study to know how you feel personally. And I have accepted many loving relationships with young women that many would consider children in beautiful ways, and am currently in relationships that are sexual with women that could be considered children.
How is he not in prison? He's openly admitting it and he's not in prison.
This is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. He didn't even say one, he said multiple. And what does he mean when he says people would consider children? They're either children or not. Like, it's too late. You've already admitted it. You can't skirt around the idea now. You've just admitted to having relationships with children. You, Josiah, are one of the sickest people I've ever seen on YouTube.
But this is the thing. If his identity is there because he's outright commenting from his own YouTube channel, IP addresses exist, etc. How has nobody called the police, or how has no action been taken against this guy and no one has done anything?
Yeah, do you know what spins me the most? If you say anything about what has been happening with us being stuck in our houses for the past couple of years, then YouTube flags that and they put a disclaimer under your video. This guy writes pedophilia in the title. There are advertisements running on the video and there's no disclaimer at all. There's nothing. The video's just been left there. So YouTube is more concerned with people having opinions about a jab and us being stuck in our houses than they are about dealing with an open pedophile. Someone openly admitting to pedophilia.
This is not the first time I'm seeing something like this, though.
What, to this extreme?
Not to this extreme, but there's a lot of people who are always online defending pedophiles and stuff. Look at that video that we reacted to before where she was like minor attracted people and stuff like that. And nothing ever gets removed or taken down. And I just feel like there is something more deeper and corrupt that must be going on, because I feel like it's only us normal people who see an issue with it.
Yeah, no, there is something deeper going on because, like I said before, this is a snowball effect. It's slowly being normalized and I can't put my finger on why. We've always known that you don't touch children and people that do need to be locked up for life. And for whatever reason now, this idea is becoming more and more mainstream. And now you've got this psycho on here and the psycho that we covered before about the maps and that woman that was saying to her kid that, you know, we don't call them pedos, we call them maps because it's offensive to them. As if we give a shit about what offends kiddie fiddlers.
They have a mental illness and something needs to be done about it.
Yeah.
No action is being taken against any of these people.
You see, the difference with this mental illness and other mental illnesses is that when somebody's mentally ill, I can be sympathetic towards them because they do need help. Whatever it might be, they need help. But when you're harming people, when your illness directly harms a child and scars them for life, I don't have time for you. I have a hard time even classing it as mental illness. It comes across to me like pure evil. That you could see something so innocent as a child, right? And think that it's okay to touch them in any way, shape or form. You can see someone that is not being corrupted by the world and think that it's okay to force yourself on them. I don't even like calling it a mental illness. It's just pure evil to me. And I don't have time for these people. I'm not one of those people that's like, let's get them reformed. Let's get them help. No. You touch a child, you deserve to go to prison for life, and they should throw away the keys.
Yeah.
Why should my
agree.
child or my friend's child or whoever's child that gets affected by it have to deal with that shit for the rest of their lives? But you get what, 10 years? You get 5-10 years maybe because the justice system is broken, and then you get to walk around, do whatever you want, and at any moment you could relapse and some other kid's got to deal with it. No. Throw away the keys. Those kinds of people and rapists, those are the kinds of people that don't deserve a second chance.
Yeah, they need to know and learn how wrong it is because clearly they're not understanding that it's wrong.
Yeah, they don't understand it's wrong. How you can look at a child and not know then, shouldn't do that.
But they need to learn.
The same way a guy could like look at a girl that is passed out and think, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I don't know how you get to that conclusion. And quite honestly, I'm not interested. As long as we know you've done it, that's enough for me. You've done it, it's done. Like, we don't need to have a conversation. Throw them in prison, throw away the key. There doesn't need to be a conversation about it. So the reason that I wanted to cover this is because this channel covered this situation and their most recent upload was 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks ago was what, like end of October, right? This was uploaded 5 days ago. So he's got 11 subscribers on this video, but it has 620 views. He's turned the comments off.
Why is that there?
Yeah, that is conveniently placed.
That's not come up on any other YouTube video you've got up.
I think he's put this under the YouTube Kids section. I think he's marked it for YouTube Kids.
And you know what the piss take is? It's got 4 likes. What 4 people are agreeing with this shit?
He's even got his handle there. Like he's gone through all the necessary processes to get this channel back up and running. And again, he's put in the description, the purpose shares life's greatest gifts, including love and intellectual content and greatest opportunities anyone could ever accept. So he's changed his message on the about part, but this is still him. And we don't need to go through his video. It's a 30-minute video of him talking shit again. The problem here is that when the guy from Some Ordinary Gamers did a video on this, his follow-up video was, the police have now gotten involved. The issue is that the police may have gotten involved.
Turned off the comments.
He's turned off the comments. The police got involved, but he's back on YouTube. This was uploaded 5 days ago.
And he only made the account on the 7th of November, which would have been 5 days ago. So he's made it and uploaded it straight away. Yeah.
If the police ever see this, if anyone ever sees this, clip it, put it on Twitter, put it on TikTok, wherever you can. This guy needs to go to prison. And anyone that thinks like him needs to go to prison. This is one of the most harmful and dangerous people I have seen on the internet. You want to talk about words can be harmful, words can be violent. This guy's literally preaching it.
Yeah.
We can all agree. It doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum we're on. Doesn't matter about what we believe, what we agree with socially. We all understand that this is wrong and this is dangerous and this is harmful and someone's child could get hurt. Or someone's pet in this guy's case, because he seems to think it's okay to fuck dogs. I don't really have anything else to say about that. It's just a sicko. Absolute sicko.